So, I was thinking, we should watch a movie that's set in the not too distant future of, well, actually, I guess it's really the recent past now.
I'll buy that for $1.
You can't buy shit for $1 now.
Oh. Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris, that's Bill, and today we are watching Robocop from 1987, filmed by Paul Verhoeven.
Verhoeven, I believe.
Verhoeven. It's like a German name or something.
Swedish? Something.
Swedish,
I don't know.
Dutch,
European.
I don't know.
I didn't. Why are you bringing him into it? I didn't look that up.
Well, I just know because he directed Starship Troopers, which is also a really good movie, but...
Total Recall?
That too, yeah. So we're watching Robocop, one of my favorite movies. Bill, what did you think of Robocop?
I thought it was a pointless retread of a familiar story. Oh, you're talking about the original Robocop, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, we really should have commingled them this a little better. I watched the 2014 Robocop.
You're a fucking liar.
No, I did.
Then why the hell did you bring this one?
It's a nicer box.
I don't know where you're going with this.
All right, like the truth is I did watch the real Robocop.
Okay.
But I actually also bit the bullet for the first time in my life, watched the remake.
I've watched the remake once and I don't remember anything about it. I just remember it's not awful.
It's fine.
Yeah.
This is way better.
Yes. This is a pretty incredible movie that is kind of relevant still in a weird way.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, Detroit in the way it is and stuff with the cops. It's so... And just like the shots it takes at society as a whole with the commercials and stuff. And you see people watching that terrible sitcom and I'm like, yeah, not much has changed, huh? We just got better TVs.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what that sitcom is with that guy just saying, I'll buy that for $1 and everybody's laughing their ass off.
It's just meant to be like a garbage sitcom. Like, you could easily just swap that out with a clip from 2.5 Men and get the same reaction.
Yeah. We got shows like TJ Laser, which we don't see anything about except he flips around his gun or anything.
Yeah, it's just some action show the kid watches.
Yeah. But anyway, Robocop.
But that is an important plot info.
Yeah.
Very character beat that comes into play later.
Basically, a short version of the synopsis of Robocop. Robocop's about a officer named Murphy who is brutally gunned down and turned into a cyborg for an evil corporation called OCP.
Yep.
I don't know, like, where do you want to start with this? Like, what are some of your favorite moments? Like,
I think one of the cooler moments that I always kind of liked is that they decide to, we get the really just sort of depressing, like, death scene of Murphy and the very clinical him in the hospital getting worked on by an actual apparent, like, real emergency room team, just, like, clinically doing the stuff they would do.
yeah,
And then we just cuts away, and then that POV montage of what he sees happening around him as, like, time goes by and they're just, like, working on it, but we don't see what they're doing.
yeah, it's an interesting movie because, you know, the beginning, he's like a normal cop. He gets transferred in.
To the worst part of the city.
Yeah.
Because they're just trying to get people into this Robocop program.
Yeah, it's like the cops are overworked.
They're literally controlled by OCP.
Yeah, the police, they're like privatized.
They're on the verge of a strike.
Yeah.
That's like a lingering thing in this movie. We have dueling corporate executives. We have...
We have Bob.
Yeah, we have... Who
I forgot his last name.
was it? Morton? I think it was Morton.
Something Bob whatever.
Yeah, Bob. Bitches leave.
Yeah.
He has created this Robocop concept that was devised as a backup plan to Dick Jones's Ed 209 project, which backfires in one of the most graphic scenes you'll ever see in a mainstream movie.
Yeah.
Especially because it's even more graphic now thanks to the unrated director's cut.
Yeah. The Ed 209 thing is pretty insane looking. I mean, it's just like a robot with like machine guns and legs. This robot's been parodied in like so many video games, like in Metal Gear Solid and everything with the walkers or whatever.
Oh yeah, this is one of those movies that's just been ripped off to death.
It's also like an interesting concept with some other sci-fi things with like, militaries using automatons, as they call them, that just like gun down, people, but can't distinguish between friend or foe, so they just kill everybody. And Ed 209 kind of has that where like he's just like, you have 5 seconds to comply, and then it just like immediately guns down the guy.
I can't register the fact that he's dropped the gun.
Yeah. It's got like a deep, intimidating voice. But yeah, OCP,
They're run by I don't even think he has a name. They just call him the old man.
Yeah, they call him the old man. It's like some British guy.
Yeah, he pops back up in the second one. And then there's that, like, I've seen him referred to as Smithers, basically.
Smithers?
The guy with the glasses.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because he's there, and he's in all 3 of these movies.
Yeah, it's insane. Guy that eats the Robocop baby food.
Who gives a big thumbs up when Dick Jones gets what he deserves.
Yeah. So, I guess, like, the interesting part of Robocop is, he's this guy, he gets turned into a cyborg. More or less his memories are kind of gone, but he kind of remembers some things of his past.
The story essentially is him, he's turned into a machine, and he's slowly, whether he realizes it or not, and eventually he does, that he's, like, peeling back the machine and getting his like humanity back. That's what it is. Like, he hears his name, that triggers something, and he ends up going to his house, and that starts like seeing memories and stuff from the past.
Yeah.
The wife and the kid, they're not characters, they're just a memory.
Yeah.
This like element of humanity that is just out of reach and you can't quite grab it.
Yeah, it's interesting, and it's really well done. Some of the things in this movie that are just insane is, Murphy and his partner Lewis end up going to bust these gangsters, I guess.
There was like a bank robbery or something,
yeah.
And they chased them in their van.
Yeah.
They managed to follow them back to that, like, was it the same steel mill from the end of the movie?
It might be. It's just like, unfortunately, it's just like, it's abandoned industry in Detroit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that there, unfortunately. But it's interesting because, like, God, these bad guys in this movie are so evil.
Oh, they're just malicious psychos.
Like, just jumping around, like, that guy Clarence, which is shocking. It's the dad from That 70s Show. You're just like, holy crap.
Having never really watched that show, it doesn't register to me as weird.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how you must feel. What's happening here?
I watched quite a bit of that show, but
I guess the best comparison for me was like seeing the late Bob Saget's like actual like comedy routines and being like, whoa, what?
Yeah.
But it's not as jarring because he wasn't playing like a psychotic murdering drug lord.
I will say I don't know the actor's name, but that guy, he's so good in this movie. Who plays Clarence?
Yeah.
He's such a psychopath, just like jumping around. There's like, he's
also more methodical.
Yeah.
He's wearing like the glasses. He comes off. He's like a little smarter than the other goons around him.
Yeah, but he's like literally the worst person.
Oh yeah,
he's like Robocop, like Jackson at a computer at the police station. You see his list of crimes. It's like, yeah, he's committed like every crime you can possibly commit.
What crime? All the crimes.
Yeah.
What's the worst crime you could think of? He did it twice, probably.
Yeah, it's like he's a remorseless psychopath that's also coked out of his mind because he's like consistently taking out his little like thing and snipping it with cocaine.
To be fair, I feel like a lot of the characters in this movie are constantly doing coke.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
See Bob snorting coke with those, like, I don't know, were they hookers?
I guess the prostitutes, escorts. That's the fancy way of saying it.
Sure.
Escorts.
Why not?
Yeah. But, man, like, even his gang, his, like, running crew are all, like, psychopaths. Like, there's the one guy that has, like, the really obnoxious laugh. And, like, the way they kill Murphy is just, like,
so
unnecessary.
They shoot his arm off.
Yeah, he's, like, still alive. They just start blasting him to pieces. And then finally, like, Clarence shoots him in the head. And he's just, like, just doesn't even care. It's insane that somehow Murphy lives from that.
Barely.
Barely, yeah.
It's a good thing he lives in the not too distant future of the recent past.
That's true. Which is very interesting because it is like the time period is kind of, undefined.
Because everything looks like the 80s, but then you got like more advanced technology. Like there's like what is essentially DVDs, and
Yeah.
Robocop has a jump drive built into his hand with
Yeah.
that stick
He's
thing.
got the weird spike that he puts into the computer.
And, just the presence of robots.
Yeah. You see when they go into like the computer room in the police station too, there's like all like the giant like magnetic tapes of like film and stuff instead of like servers.
Yeah.
But it's interesting too because some of the world building is like they mention, some stuff going on like geopolitically with like apparently like a war in Mexico going on. It's kind of unclear. There's also like a thing about weapons being in space, which is like, as far as I know, we're not supposed to have weapons in space, but who knows now? But yeah, so there's stuff like that. Like I do remember like the one news report that says like a laser misfired and like destroyed like a neighborhood in like California.
And we get a lot of commercials that give you an idea of just what kind of society this is.
Yeah. It's just like such like a bleak and cynical world. But yeah, I guess we should talk about Robocop, like one of the coolest characters ever.
I mean, this is essentially a superhero movie.
Yeah.
I mean, even the scene when Robocop is finally revealed and he gets in the cop car and he goes on patrol and he solves a whole bunch of crimes on his first night, that's straight out of Superman the movie. Because instead of having that like one big moment where he like unveils himself to the public in like a big heroic fashion, it's like a series of escalating things where people are like, holy shit, it's a Robocop.
Yeah.
Because the same thing happened in Superman the movie. He goes out on his first night and he does like a whole bunch of stuff.
I love like when you first see him and like he's going into the police station and the sergeant is just like all the OCP like I guess like scientist guys are coming into the police station. He's like, what the heck are you doing? And then they say like bring him in through the side, and then you like see that first glimpse of Robocop, and then all the cops like see him like
even
walking
before
in.
that, when he first starts to like wake up, you get a brief glimpse of him on a monitor in like the corner of the screen, and he's like he's behind that weird glass, so he's kind of blurred out of focus.
Yeah. You see him at the shooting range, and he has this like ridiculous gun, whatever that thing is.
The Robocop gun.
Yeah, I love when he does like the whole twirling, and it like goes into this like leg holster thing.
And nice little bit of storytelling. Lois sees that, and she's just like, "Wait a minute."
Yeah, and I like how there's like some glimpses of his humanity at the beginning, because when he drives out of the police station, he drives out of the police station exactly the way he did when he was Murphy driving the car. He even like skids like the bottom of the car on that ramp because he like floors it too fast and everything.
It's good touches.
Yeah.
So he's got a lot of good touches like that.
But yeah, Robocop's so awesome. He's like one of the coolest things ever. He's just like visually is so cool looking.
He's very slow.
Yeah, but like I know like the guy like Peter Weller, he had to like learn how to like mimic his like movements, kind of like learning how to be a mime or something, to kind of like walk the way he walks, to sort of like have those like very heavy footsteps and everything. Like I don't know, that suit must have been like insane to wear.
Oh, I'm sure. Any kind of suit like that is just like a pain in the ass.
It looks so good though. It's like one of the coolest looking like visuals in the movie. It's just the way Robocop looks. He's so awesome looking.
Makes you wonder why they would drastically change it in that remake.
I mean,
because they had it
yeah,
like a slightly sleek modern version of Robocop, and then they went all weird black and tactical for most of the movie.
Like, why did they paint it black? That makes no sense. It looked actually pretty cool when it was like silver still.
Yeah, it looked like a good update of Robocop.
Yeah, it's weird. Some of my favorite franchises have had like reboots, and then just we're like, you know what? Forget about the reboot.
They've been trying to do that with Robocop.
Yeah, they have. I think it was that guy that did District 9 that was in talks to make another Robocop movie that was like, we're disregarding every Robocop except the first one.
But then that kind of fizzled out, just like when he tried to do that with the Alien movies.
Yeah, that's weird. It's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love seeing Robocop just bust crimes in this movie. It's so cool, and that music they play is so good.
It is a good theme.
Yeah.
It's like a fun like theme to drive to.
Yep. I've put it on many times commuting into the city and everything, you know. Definitely works at night.
I mean, watched Robocop last night Finished it this morning. Still humming in my brain. I'm like,
Yeah. Such a good score.
so much so that it bothers me that it's not in Robocop 2.
It blows my mind that it's not.
And they brought it back for 3.
That's good, Like
One point in 3's direction.
Yeah. It's weird, like, I guess, like, briefly touch on the Robocop sequels. They're okay, but this first movie is just
2 is
so
the only
good.
one that gets as close to 1.
Yeah.
It's got some really good stuff in it, some solid action for what it is, and it's all too brief, but the brief montage of the 2 failed Robocop 2s is so fucking funny.
Yeah. That is pretty good.
Never seen the TV show, but I did see that weird TV miniseries that nobody remembers.
Never saw that. I remember the cartoon.
Vaguely remember the cartoon.
Yeah, I was really into it. Although I remember it's on like ridiculously early in the morning, and it was very hard to watch.
It's so weird that this is like that weird era when like R-rated movies where people just let their kids watch them.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I think when I saw RoboCop as a kid, I'm sure it was just on TV and just severely edited down.
I remember loving RoboCop as like a 5-year-old child. And I probably saw the movie on TV, or at least parts of it. I knew what RoboCop was. I was probably in like first grade or kindergarten.
RoboCop was pretty well known through our childhood. I rented RoboCop versus Terminator for like Super Nintendo as a kid, but got super disappointed when I was like, wait, I can't play as the Terminator? It's bull crap.
I thought it was cool that you got to be RoboCop.
I mean, it makes sense because Terminators
are evil.
Yeah, I mean, there was at that point, I think I'd only seen 2, so I was like, but, Arnold was a good guy in that one movie I've seen. Though I think I knew that he was a bad guy in the first one.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think I just wanted to play as the Terminator.
Now you can play RoboCop vs. Terminator in Mortal Kombat.
I can.
Even though it's weird old Terminator for some reason.
I'm sure there's a skin where you can make him look younger and not like that Terminator Dark Fate movie that nobody saw.
Yeah.
At least I hope.
Well, anyway. Some of the moments I love in this movie is just, RoboCop going around the city. I love when there's like the scene where like the news is interviewing RoboCop like at a school, and they're like, "What do you have to say to the children of the city, RoboCop?" And he's just like, "Stay out of trouble." Like,
just so blunt.
Yeah. I like just some of the crimes he busts up. I love like the one in the gas station where it's like the first instance of him like seeing one of the guys that like murdered him. And like when he says dead or alive, you're coming with me, the guy's like, wait, we killed you, and it kind of like jars his memory.
Yeah.
And then like he just so cool that like the guy like somehow blows up the gas station, but like RoboCop just stands in the fire and then just like shoots him. And that guy somehow lives, which is insane.
RoboCop is that good.
Yeah.
He only shoots to kill if he has to.
I think one of the other like memorable scenes in this movie is the nightclub. Even though it's a lot shorter than I always remember it to be, but like he's just like walking through the nightclub and it just says like arrest mode. And like he's just like looking at all the people dancing, and then he grabs the one guy by like the hair and he's just like, "You're coming with me." Like,
I always like the scene where he goes after Clarence Bodiger at the drug warehouse.
Yeah.
Like, and there's a shootout, and then he's just beating the shit out of him, throwing him through glass while reading him his rights.
Yeah. And I love the fact that he was going to kill him, but then his programming like stopped him because like the little thing like Directive 2 says like uphold the law.
Yes, he's
like right before he like killed him.
Robot has his prime directives: serve the public trust, uphold the law, protect the innocent, and classified.
Yeah.
Which we find out is he cannot arrest or act against
any
executives from OCP.
Yeah.
Which does lead to a great moment at the end.
Yeah, exactly. Get into it, but there's like a part where, like we said, the guy Bob, who's like the main leader of the RoboCop project, ends up pissing off like Dick Jones, who
is a psychopath.
And
is the boss of Clarence Bodiger.
I mean, like, to be fair, they say like most executives, their psychological profile is they're a psychopath, which is like a weird thing to think about.
There's a level of ruthlessness that goes with a job like that.
Yeah.
You need to get that far and ahead. You have to have be ruthless enough to say, pull all the shows off of HBO Max and shelve the Batgirl movie for tax purposes.
Whoa. Getting too real.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
That's ruthless.
That is
I don't like
ruthless.
it, but it's
It
ruthless.
is ruthless.
That's the kind of shit, man.
Yeah. But I do like that they have that like confrontation in the bathroom. Like the one guy is just
He touches his hair. He doesn't wash his hands. He was taking a shit.
I know, he's just taking a dump.
Oh, it's so gross.
It is gross.
Uh,
One guy pees his pants. He doesn't even finish up and he just like runs out of there. It's like, Jesus.
you're in the executive washroom. You have to just assume that anyone could be in there. And you're shit talking somebody?
Just
That
gonna
was
say,
dumb.
there's a lot of executives in that executive wash room, you know? There's a lot of corporate bloat in OCP.
That makes about sense.
Yeah, a lot of upper management, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I've seen that a lot over the years.
Oh, yeah.
My boss's boss type of situation.
Yep.
I like, you know, when Clarence goes to kill that guy Bob, you know, the iconic bitches leave. Just insane. Like, he's
So just blunt.
yeah. I mean, he takes the time to, like, set up the grenade, sniff some cocaine, and just, like, walk out of Bob's apartment, which, why does he have so many TVs? So many TVs everywhere in his apartment.
It's a 1980s future. It's all about excess.
Yeah. He's got like at least like 9 TVs in there for some reason. He's got the like video disc he puts in that has like the message from like Dick Jones. It's just like, hey, I'm gonna kill you because I'm more ruthless than you, and
I hope this disc gets blown up in the explosion.
Yeah.
Otherwise, whoops.
yeah,
Is it weird that I'm just like, why is he going for the grenade? Crawl under something.
I don't
Or
know.
if there's a door, it's right there. Like, that's what I'd go for.
Yeah, they're crazy future weapons that are ridiculously powerful.
Oh, yeah, they give them, like, those crazy, like, military grade, let's face it, like, anti-tank guns
Yeah, something.
that they just go around just, like, practicing it on anything in a neighborhood because the cops are on strike and there's
Yeah.
just nobody doing anything. And there's just riots everywhere.
Yeah, it is interesting because in the movie too, like you got like RoboCop remembering, you know, who he is, but you know, he eventually confronts like Dick Jones, you know, the Directive 4, he can't arrest him. So he ends up getting like all fucked up.
Yeah, because Dick Jones sends Ed 209 at him.
Yeah.
But then Ed 209 can't walk downstairs.
That is why does it like make like weird noises? Like it's like kind of like making weird like I don't know what to classify them. It's like pig squeals or something while it's like on its back.
Because it's funny.
It is funny. It is funny. Like I always like that joke. I think it was from the Venture Brothers. They have like a Ed 209 thing, and it's just like, why does that thing walk like it needs to take a dump? Like,
God.
but yeah, I like the aftermath after RoboCop gets all like fucked up by you know, OCP and like the police department going after him, and then Lewis saves him because I think like there's like a sad moment where in the movie, and maybe I'm seeing too much into this, but it's like he kind of realizes he'll never actually be Murphy again because like he says like I can remember some stuff of my life, but he says like I can't remember them, but I can feel them.
Yeah.
And
He
it's
says
like-
that about the wife and the kid.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's a good line, like, and that's like really sad. It's just like I sort of like can like have a glimpse of like my former self, but like I'll never actually like be that again because I'm this cyborg now.
It's just out of reach.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
RoboCop's sad.
it is sad. But I guess before we get to like the ending, is there any other scenes? Oh yeah, well we got to talk about the weird ass
Toxic Waste Man.
toxic waste man.
During the big fight at the steel mill.
Yeah,
There's just, they say it's a steel mill.
yeah.
Why is there a vat of toxic waste in a steel mill?
I guess it's because like maybe they were like acid washing like the metal or something. So like, because like I think that's what you do for metal. But god damn it, like that is such a weird thing where that guy gets all the toxic waste on him and his skin is melting off. And he's just like screaming.
Oh man, when he grabs that guy played by Ray Wise, he's just like, help me, and he's just like, ah!
It's so weird.
And then he gets hit by the car and just explodes into goo.
Yeah.
I guess that was a mercy kill.
Yeah. Guess so.
Oh, man. And then, Robocop has his final confrontation with Clarence, and we see him walking on water. Do you get it?
Yeah. Get it. He's robot Jesus.
Oh, man. I love that he uses the jump drive stick as a fucking weapon. That's so good.
It's so much blood, too.
He gets him right in the throat.
He gets him in the throat, and, he just gets showered in blood.
Oh, man.
I was like, holy crap. I don't remember seeing that on TV when I was a kid.
No, you were never gonna.
Yeah.
There was moments that when I was watching it this time, particularly during the warehouse shootout, where I kind of noticed that when they were editing the movie, they were clearly editing to know that they would have to edit stuff out for a TV cut, I think, because we would get a shot of squibs going off, and then we'd get a shot of people falling down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, so you just cut out the squib shot and then just show the people falling down. That's probably how the TV cut looks.
Yeah.
Instead of the explosion of blood, it's just a guy going oh.
There's a lot of squib work in this movie.
Oh, yes.
People get blown apart. Yeah, that warehouse scene is great, but I think I love the ending of this movie.
It's just a great touch where it's just you're fired.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bam.
Yeah, he kills Dick Jones, and then at the end
we get the weird puppet Dick Jones that I don't know why that looks so.
Why does he have giant arms at one point?
I don't. There's some other stop motion in this movie that looks fine, with Ed 209. I don't know how the hell they dropped the ball on the human.
Yeah. Seems kind of weird. I noticed that too, where I was like, whoa, why is his arms gigantic all of a sudden?
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But, we get that great moment where the old man asks him his name, and he's like, Murphy. And then the movie's just over because it's he got his humanity back.
Yeah.
Whatever amount of humanity he could get back, he got back.
Yeah, I love that ending so much. It's just so cool. It's just Murphy. And then he just walks out and it's just credits. And
yeah.
It's God damn, Robocop is such a good movie.
Because it's especially fitting because earlier in the movie when they're first putting him together and they're the OCP contract with the police force, it's and he's legally dead, we could do whatever we want to him.
Yeah.
Apparently some of his limbs survived. And they're lose the arm.
Yeah. Yeah, they're why does he still have his arm? It's we're going fully prosthetic.
Yeah, there's outside of some internal organs and in his brain and his face, there really isn't much Murphy left.
Yeah.
That was one thing I give credit to the remake for. There's probably the most harrowing thing in that entire movie was when they show Alex Murphy what's left of him, and it's just a hand, a sack of organs, and his face and his head. And because they take away the whole robot body, and he's just has a freak out over oh God, there's nothing left.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because he doesn't get. I don't remember the reboot that much, but he doesn't get as much brainwashing as
Well, it's flipped. He starts out with more humanity, and then they start doing stuff to him.
That's right.
And they make him more and more robotic, and he has to fight that off. They kind of flip it.
Okay.
I'll give the remake credit in that it's not a carbon copy of this movie.
Yeah.
I have to give it that credit.
I don't think it's bad. It's just
okay.
It's just unnecessary and weird.
I understand why you'd want to do it, but you just. If you
don't.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not gonna, you softened all the edges, you made a couple weird choices, and it's not great.
Yeah.
If you can't make it great, then don't make it at all. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a weird movie.
It's not the worst remake I've ever seen.
No. It's kind of
and
whatever.
Nobody even remembers it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
it came out, didn't do that well, and everyone just forgot about it completely.
Yeah.
It's been completely forgotten.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, they're doing the Robocop game now.
Yeah. He's been popping up in games and commercials. Peter Weller's been doing the voice.
Yeah. Game looks interesting. It's made by some Polish game company that I haven't really heard of. They made a Terminator game that I heard was okay, actually.
I mean, they've gone out of their way to be look, this isn't a AAA title. So
I mean, and that's fine,
If it's fun, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's really, it's if it's a cool game, why not? And at first I was why is this game first person? But then, rewatching this movie again, I'm you know what? That actually makes more sense for it to be first person,
I would
honestly.
still rather see Robocop.
I would too, just because I don't like first person games to begin with.
You know what I like? I like when when some games give you an option.
That would be nice.
Red Dead Redemption gives you an option.
Yeah.
I like that. I don't need first person.
Yeah.
First person for a shooter, I don't know, it doesn't feel necessary.
Yeah, I guess it's your preference, you know.
I mean, look, the funny thing is, it's like, if I'm playing a Bond game, my brain's just like, it's gotta be first person because of GoldenEye.
Because GoldenEye, yeah.
It's a weird perspective to have, but still.
I can go either way, but I get it. Like, I was just like, yeah, first person for a Robocop game does make sense because, like, you could have all, like, the little prompts on the screen, like, you know, arrest mode and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can have, like, the targeting going on and stuff.
And that's maybe what they're probably gonna do.
Yeah.
So I can totally get that.
It'll be interesting, you know. Peter Weller's doing the voice. It's just like, oh, hey, Peter Weller. Like, I haven't seen him in anything since he was Batman in that one movie. I'm sure he was in some other stuff, though.
Was Star Trek Into Darkness before or after that?
I don't know.
Let's say around the same time.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He's the old Batman.
Yeah, he was Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably too old to do RoboCop again at this point.
I mean, like, hey, him doing the voice in a game, though, that's, like, cool enough, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they'll ever try to dust off that project of doing a direct sequel to this.
Yeah, it would be a little weird to do. I mean, I guess you would have to...
I mean, I kind of like the idea of, like, you just open up, like, the OCP vault, and it's like, oh, shit, they imprisoned RoboCop down there.
Yeah.
So that, like, there's maybe something you could do with that. I don't know. The thing is, it needs a voice. This movie had a voice.
Yeah.
And that's what the remake was lacking. And I think that maybe, you know, District 9 guy probably could have maybe done it, but
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to get to do it. But you got to find someone good, I think.
And there's plenty of people that could. I mean, who knows? RoboCop's now owned by OCP for real now and Amazon. So.
Yeah, you brought that to my attention, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I mean,
however,
they're going to make a real Ed 209. It's going to be an Alexa device.
Look, if they make a new RoboCop TV show that says from the producers of The Boys, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the right tone.
That would be cool.
Like, that's got that satirical edge, brutal violence, kind of funny in places, but also kind of real in places. That's like the RoboCop tone.
Yeah.
I think guys who make The Boys, make RoboCop. Right?
Yeah, or somebody else, you know.
Well, I'm just saying, that's like something similar. Granted, it's a more comic booky, colorful superheroes, but that kind of vibe would work for RoboCop really well.
Definitely the tone, yeah.
Like, that's what you need.
Yeah.
The horrific violence and twisted dark satire.
And just like weird TV stuff, like the dark
Yes.
satire you said. And
Yes.
I mean, God, you could do so much of that. And now, like, this movie just feels so relevant still.
Somehow.
And
I remember because I hadn't seen the movie since I was a kid when I like rewatched this like 10 or so years ago. And I was like, oh shit. Because like I was expecting like, oh, this is probably a action movie. It's probably gonna be cheesy and you know it is that in a little bit, but I didn't realize how clever the movie was.
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, this movie's got like something to it.
yeah,
It was a nice surprise because
when I was 5, I purely liked this movie on the superficial level of robots are cool. But as I grew up, I realized this movie is even better than I thought it was as a 5-year-old.
But still, robots are cool.
Yeah, but like I feel like each time I watch this movie, it's like better and better. It's such a good movie.
Yeah, like you know, if you see it when you're a kid, you just get the surface level kind of superhero action adventure of it.
Yeah.
And then you know you reach a certain age, maybe you kind of dwell on the cynical societal satire to it. And then I think this most recent rewatch, I was kind of just dwelling on the lost humanity aspect of it.
Yeah.
Which I think was interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
This movie's got a lot of stuff going for it. It's better than you remember it if you haven't seen this movie in like 30 years.
Yeah.
It's worth revisiting just for like the fact that it's more clever than you'd think.
Yeah, definitely. But one of the greats, and I guess that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah, I mean, if if you like this, RoboCop 2 is pretty fun. RoboCop 3 is
I don't remember it that well, even though I haven't seen it too long ago.
Yeah,
so.
we watched it granted, it was right before COVID, so like five years went by mentally.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, people hate it, and I totally understand why. It's okay in places.
When I was a kid, I was like, jetpack. Like Robocop with the jetpack.
Yeah, that's kind of lame.
Yeah.
The robot ninjas are lame. I don't know. I think I just like that Robocop kind of gets one over on OCP in the end.
Yeah.
Even if the old man's not there to get his comeuppance.
Yeah, definitely. Robocop could have had a better sequel, but at the same time, Robocop as just this one movie is like perfect in some ways too.
Yeah, and it's from that weird time when, the first movie's great. What about the sequels? The first movie's great.
Yeah, it's also, I don't know if it's part of that time where it's just like, okay, make a sequel for half as much money.
I mean, probably.
Yeah.
Especially by the time the third one came out. Second one looked like it had some money to it, though. But I'm sure it was less than the first one, because that's usually what happens.
Yeah. But,
sometimes the budgets would go up slightly, but then by the third movie, it would always crater.
Yeah, so weird.
Unless you're a Star That's different.
Guess that's different.
Different beast.
But anyway. Well, go watch Robocop, I guess, and that's the Out of Touch podcast for this week.
Sting has been caged by the Horseman, but here comes Robocop, Bob. Oh, gosh almighty. He's pulling that door right off the hinges.